everybody, and welcome back to Simone Tots Spot. Simone Talks. I don't know what Simone Tats is, but we don't do tats. Simone Talks Spotlight. And today I'm so excited. Again, I have my BFF, one of my BFFs, on the line with me. Oh my goodness. She has a story to tell. Today we're talking about journeys. And this journey of Miss Diane Powell is just so, I don't even know how to explain it because we go way back. Hey, Diane.
Hi, friend. Hey, BFF.
We go way back, and way back. We did a play together. That's how we met, in a play, and it was called, We Got Choices.
Yeah.
That was the first play that we did.
The first one.
Choices. I was her best friend and a lawyer. And yeah, I don't know where that money is, but the point is,
you were acting really good.
I was acting. Wait a minute. We met on the playing field of the theater, and we have been friends ever since. The chemistry was there from the get-go. I learned that she oh, this wrong side. She's a little, yeah. So, and me being a little, and her being a little, that just made for a wonderful, long-lasting friendship. We served on boards together. We've done other projects together. And as a matter of fact, one of the projects that she did encompasses her story and her journey. Diane, tell us about your journey.
Okay, well, thank you, Simone, and good morning. Sure, my story is one that I have to honestly say I never, ever thought I'd be talking about. Mm-hmm. When, as you said, we go back long ways. When we did the play, and ironically, the play was about, one of the plays we did was about someone who had cancer and how she dealt with it, Elaine Hutchinson. Dreams. Mm-hmm. And so what happened was I was on my journey. I've been acting since I was 8 years old. I've always loved it, was in the theater until about 2015, and I switched over to film and TV and loved it even more.
I tell you, remember, you were doing like 2 or 3 plays at the same time.
Yes.
I was like in awe. I'm like, whoa. And the books the books that you, the binders, the scripts that you, man, I'm telling you,
did.
On it. She was on it. She had it all labeled and the whole night. I'm like, who is this girl?
Thank you. And my mom used to always ask me, how do you do the different plays at the same time? I said, well, Mom, it's like a conversation. If I talk to you, I'm not going to talk to you about what I talk to someone else about. So that's how in my head I had to make it. This is a conversation with this person. This is a conversation, so forth. Uh-huh. So that's how I kind of separated everything. But so I was on my journey, doing my thing and loving it, praying, God, thank you. Even got to retirement. I retired from my job of 30 years in May of, it was effective June of 2019.
Nice.
It's almost as if, as soon as I made a decision to do acting full time, bam, I was hit with a diagnosis of cancer. And when I got it, as you'll see in the, and I hope, the viewers have a chance to look at the short film documentary, it just came out of the blue. I never expected it. I could not tell you anything. The only one thing that kind of led me to believe something was wrong, but not cancer, was that I began to just have uncontrollable bleeding from my vagina. And that's all in the film as well. But that's what made me go to the doctor, because of, it was nothing I could do about that. I couldn't stop it. And I think that was just God's way of saying, you better go. I've been trying to give you other hints, you're not taking them. Yeah. This, you got to listen. So, and then from there, I was, operated on. And again, I just never, ever thought I'd have to deal with it.
Yes.
and didn't know how. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, don't, not to mean to cut you off. So what other symptoms that you have that you reflect back now and say, wow, that was a part of that and I didn't even know?
Mhm. Aside from being on the job, and that's stressful in itself sometimes, it can be.
Yes.
My pressure had gone way up. I was, when I, just before my diagnosis, my pressure was 198 over 98.
Wow.
And I didn't understand that. My legs had started swelling, my ankles especially, and I couldn't understand why. But I was too afraid to go. And so I said, okay, I'll just eat better. I'll calm down. I won't let this job get me, all out of sorts and stuff. And it didn't work. It never did. And unfortunately, one of my manager at the time made a statement to me that I didn't quite like, but it caused more stress. When I told him about my pressure, he said, well, don't most Black people have high blood pressure? Oh, I said, well, my mom has perfect blood pressure.
See, that that would have been a whole different movie for me. Okay.
Yeah.
That scene would have been a whole different scene. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that kind of let me know he didn't care about me.
Yeah, but that there's some other things there that just didn't, that ain't, whew,
Right.
girl.
Yeah. It was really, and that added more stress and that's what made me, that was my breaking to say, let me get out of this job.
Yes, yes.
My mom always told me they'll get you, they'll replace you, walk right over you and keep on going.
Keep
They
going.
don't care,
They,
very few.
they don't.
So,
They,
mhm.
they're very
So I said, let me just get out of here.
yeah.
And so I did. I made that choice. And so now I've gotten through it. Thank you, Jesus. God has just covered me.
Yeah.
He's protected me. One thing that I remember the doctor telling me after I was diagnosed is that he said, this happens a lot in the Black community,
Wow.
and we don't know why.
Wow.
And in my mind, I said, well, then why don't you all find out why? And before I realized I was thinking it, I was saying it. Well, where's the research? If this happens a lot, let's find out why.
Yeah.
To this date, they still don't really know why this type of cancer happens. It was in my uterus, and it was just a tumor, just sitting there, stage 4, not spreading. Thank God it didn't spread, but it was just a tumor. And what I found out since then, my family has a history of cancer. My mother, actually, she was diagnosed years before me, and she's a breast cancer survivor, praise God. My brother had prostate cancer last year.
Wow.
My sister, unfortunately, my sister did pass away.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
we found out that it was cancer. We didn't know before she died. She was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome and this other Peoria or something. It was just,
In your family. That, I
yeah,
can imagine most families have somebody who has suffered from a loss of a family member due to cancer, but this is a lot of your immediate family.
immediate family.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
And so
So,
would you venture
mhm.
to say that in those types of situations that even if you don't have it, that is something to be proactive about, to have yourself checked out just in case because of the family history?
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
My daughter is really on it. She gets her screening. She started with her girl. She has 3 girls to get them screened. So far, thank God, nothing. She's had a benign tumor, but
Nice.
nothing, no malignancy at all, which is great. But
Ooh,
yeah, it's important to get checked. It's important to get checked. It's important to talk to someone, because fear. I was so afraid. Fear will stop you. It'll just halt everything, and it's not gonna go away.
yeah. And
Not only
if you had continued in that fear, then the story could have came out very differently.
Very different.
But there's a reason why you're still here and to
Yes.
share your story. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1-minute break. Don't go away. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back with more with Diane Powell.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Clanton Communication, hot news.
What's your story? Everyone has one, and experts say that most have a book buried inside of them just waiting to be released. But oftentimes we doubt ourselves to death, falsely believing that we don't have what it takes. Well, don't believe it. Clanton Communications' mission is to help your dream of becoming an author come true. Whether it's an anthology project or write your own individual book, a memoir, a devotional, a book of poems, or even a children's book, Clanton Communications has the experience and expertise to get your story from your thoughts to a book for all to enjoy. The world is waiting. Go to ClantonCommunicationsLLC.com or call us at 202-669-6048. ClantonCommunicationsLLC.com. That's 202-669-6048. Call today.
Welcome back to Simone Todd's Spotlight. And today I'm talking to, we always refer to ourselves, each other as BFFs, because Diane Powell and I, oh yes, we met each other a few years ago. We won't tell how many, about 18 years ago, you know, me being 20 and all. Yeah, sure. Talking about her journey and her being diagnosed, or she finding out that she was diagnosed. We won't say she has, because we won't claim it, but we'll say she was diagnosed with uterine cancer. And from that, Diane, we reflect back to Elaine Hutchinson, who was a playwright, and her journey is so. When I found out, when you told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like Elaine all over again, just a different area. And Elaine, who is a wonderful playwright, wonderful person, who was diagnosed with breast cancer. And from that, her journey, she created a play about it. And from her reactions from her one son, she created 4 sons. And you played her in the play. And it was called A View from a Tunnel.
Yes.
The View from the Tunnel. Yeah, that's it. And so how did that come to your mind because now you've written a play, a movie, a short film about your journey. Did that come to your mind when you were diagnosed, like, whoa, wait a minute, huh?
It did. It really did. I have a thing, and I'm sure most actors are like this. You want to bring to life what the writer has put down on paper. So you try as much as you can to make people believe you are that person. And as I was learning my lines and doing, I said, wow, wouldn't it be something if I get cancer? But never,
oh wow,
stayed with it. Never stayed on my mind, but it was a thought. It was really a thought. But just kind of let it go. No big deal. I'm acting. I mean, I played other parts, and it never came to fruition. So it was just another character. But I did that did cross my mind. Elaine's story, oh my gosh. I remember one of the scenes where I had to have no hair. And I was like, being an actor, should I cut my hair? No, because in the beginning I need hair.
Right.
Hair. It's not that drastic.
We change clothes, but can't grow hair between scenes. Yeah.
But, and I remember buying this cap to put on my head, and I had to slick my hair back and make it look.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the days on stage.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
But I remember looking at myself at home in that mirror, and I was thinking, oh, look at you with no hair. And it was just like this wave of, what's that word when you just kind of foresee the future. And I was like, what if I really actually looked like this? Never, ever, ever, ever staying with it. It just never, until I did my documentary and I saw a picture I had taken of myself with no hair. And it immediately, I thought back to that play. Wow. I was like, wow, I was looking at myself thinking, what if this really happened in the future? So it's just a weird place to be. Thank God Elaine survived. I survived, you know. But yeah, it was, whew.
Yeah, and so with that and the diagnosis, and now you've written a short film about it. Tell us about the short film.
Well, the short film, it took me about a month. Mr. Cliff Mason approached me after I actually ended up having a hysterectomy. And he said, Diane, I'd like to tell your story. And I said, oh, okay, no big deal. But the way he wanted to do it, and that's only because he's not an actor, or he had another vision, I'll put it like that. He wanted to do something like this, conversation back and forth. And I said, well, that's good. I said, but I'm an actor. I want to do something different. And we'd have our meetings and our conversations, and it was just like he didn't get what I got because it was in my head. No fault of his, it was what was in my head. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and do it. So I did the entire film in iMovie. And I sent it over to him. He liked it. He did a little tweaking here and there. He ended up putting it into another software, which was a little bit better than iMovie, which was okay. And that's how it came to be, but yeah, I had it. It was just something I just couldn't sit and talk about. I wanted to bring that point home in another way. Yeah. In another way.
We're going to show a short clip from the film. What's the name of the film?
It's called Get Marked, Reset, Go.
Okay, let's check it out.
Yes, but sometimes you just have to ignore stupidity. God protects all foods and babies, and I'm nobody's baby. You don't have to laugh that hard. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.
A few days after that conversation, I scheduled a visit to an OBGYN. I did not have one of my own, so my daughter gave me the name of the one she visits. Yes, this visit became my first in I can't tell you how many years. But I had to go because I needed to find out why I had been having what I thought was a very long menstrual period. Believe it or not, I never went a single month since the age of 14 without having a monthly period, except when I was pregnant. I really didn't think anything of it until I began bleeding every day and using 4 to 5 extra large purple pads. I remember there being about 3 other doctors in his office attending other business. None of them came to my aid, but instead asked, "What's wrong with her?" It seemed like none of them were taking this as seriously as I did. Did they not understand how important this was? Did they not know of the death sentence cancer delivers with its own unrelenting strike of its gavel? I now realize they were probably immune to this kind of news because it was so normal. Wow. Is cancer really this common?
Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I can't wait to see the whole thing. When did you release this?
I released it April of 2021. Yeah, I did.
So when did you release this?
I released it back in April of 2021.
Wow. How did I BFF?
I know.
Wow. That should be, because the last thing I saw you do which was like and I told you about this, you were in River Mint.
Yes.
And that scene was just, I just saw a whole different actor, Diane. And you know, because I'm mainly seen you on stage. We've done
Right.
stage plays, but we haven't done any movies together. And that is, you know, as an actor, you know, that's a very different platform. It's a different type of acting. And
Mhm.
so I was like in awe. I'm like, wow, look at my beat.
Aw.
That is so powerful. That monologue that you did was just so powerful.
Thank
And
you.
so I can't wait to see the rest of this, and tell us where we can see it and how we can get our hands on it and all of that.
Okay. Well, right now it's you can see it through my website, DianePowellActress.com.
Mhm.
It's on the videos reels page all the way at the bottom, and it says get marked, reset, go. And just click on the link and you can watch it. It's about 19 minutes long. So and it's going to be there for a while. I'm actually working on another short film right now. But
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
And, oh, I meant to tell you, I did.
Well, I didn't get my casting call. Let me check. Wait a minute.
I actually created a company, my own company called The Colors of Conversation, LLC.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that platform to do short film, documentary, even maybe a feature film one day of the journeys that we take as women and men. It doesn't matter, children, any situation, because everybody's situation, although we hear about cancer, but my journey is different.
Yeah.
My journey, this is my story.
That's your
And you know, someone else who may have the same kind of cancer may have a different story. So that's where I came up with The Colors of Conversation.
So the colors of conversation are based around those who have been diagnosed with cancer.
With anything.
Oh, with anything. Okay.
Any ailment, and not even just health issues, domestic violence, bipolar, anything, living on the street, being homeless, anything that causes a conversation with anyone.
Okay. Colors of conversation. Love
Yes.
it. Love it. Well, Diane, thank you so much for taking time out to be on the Simone Talk Spotlight. You know, I'm just a phone call away.
Of course.
Not just for a role, okay? Not just for a role.
Not just the lead role, but to run.
You know, the shameless hint. Not just for a lead role, you know. Or something.
Right. Yeah.
But,
I know.
but you know, I'm just a phone call away. If you need me, I'm right there. Would love to be a part of the Colors of Conversation in your production, and elevate you in any way that I can. Any way
Okay.
that I can. But I thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being who you are, the BFF, and you look phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. So
Nobody
do you.
would ever know that you had that journey, and that's just the beauty of, you know, being, you know, so blessed by, you know, by God.
Yes.
He's really blessed you in your journey. So we thank you so much for sharing it.
Thank you.
I'd like
Thank
to
you
thank
for
our
having me.
sponsor, Ms. Gail Clanton, Clanton Communications. If you're looking to write a book and don't know where to start, Clanton Communications, Gail Clanton will help you get there. Until next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Clanton Communication, hot news.
What's your story? Everyone has one, and experts say that most have a book buried inside of them just waiting to be released. But oftentimes we doubt ourselves to death, falsely believing that we don't have what it takes. Well, don't believe it. Clanton Communications' mission is to help your dream of becoming an author come true. Whether it's an anthology project or write your own individual book, a memoir, a devotional, a book of poems, or even a children's book, Clanton Communications has the experience and expertise to get your story from your thoughts to a book for all to enjoy. The world is waiting. Go to ClantonCommunicationsLLC.com or call us at 202-669-6048. ClantonCommunicationsLLC.com. That's 202-669-6048. Call today.